again. Oh, well, this is mine. This is mine. It's kind of half full.
Oh, that looks nice.
It's Island Harris gin infused with sugared kelp.
Wow.
My son sent it to me today.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Oh,
Mine's a new one from M&S.
Oh, lovely.
With cranberries.
Oh, I love cranberries. Wow.
What's yours, Danielle?
Oh, it's just a wine.
Oh.
I'll have to start.
Do you put strawberries in yours?
Cranberries. Oh, do I put strawberries in? I haven't.
Yeah, I cut fresh strawberries up and pop them in it. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, I'll have to start getting some gin in. I know, because it's so exciting, all different types of gin though, isn't it? And
I love it.
I know, I was talking to somebody yesterday about Marquis, and he's got a bar and they supply, during this lockdown, they're supplying people with cocktails. Gin cocktails.
Oh, I love it.
I know, but they're in Gloucester. Yeah. So you can't.
You could do that, Danielle, from the Lighthouse.
Gin.
Lighthouse cocktails.
Yeah, could do. Have to learn to know how to mix things together. That would be really, really good. Okay, so today we're having our first podcast, which we're going to share on Facebook and hopefully put that on YouTube as well. So today's guest is Fay Vale, and she's going to tell us all about herself and her life story. I like juicy stories. She's gonna.
I'm not really my juicy bits.
Juicy.
You better pour the gin now.
Very well. So and co-host is April Rogers, and she's she's an artist, she's a writer, she's a Facebook influencer with 250,000 people. The April is the fair. What's
prosperity fairy? That's me.
She's the prosperity fairy with the gin taste.
Yes.
So today we're going to ask Fay a few questions, and Fay is going to be my one of my speakers at the UFO conference in next year. My UFO conference had to be cancelled because of the lockdown. So today is Wednesday, the what is it? 24th? No. Of June, 2020.
Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde today.
Confusion.
We've had a lot of problem with the, trying to get it live on Facebook and so on. But without further ado, I'm going to ask April to start the questions.
Me? Oh, wow. God, that was quick. Okay. Right. My first question, Fay, is, who are you here to serve?
Right. I'm here to serve the planet, to be honest, and the people on the planet, to enlighten them and hopefully open up to other experiences, and to serve them whichever best way I can. Like during this episode we're all going through at the moment, I've felt compelled to enlighten people and, just put good messages out there and help people so that
because every day you actually post something on your page. You receive channeling on a regular basis, don't you?
Yeah. Most nights I'll sit here and I'll get messages and do drawings and things, and sometimes you get messages, sometimes it's just drawings, but the drawings actually do something anyway. They influence the consciousness, so get them out there.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about your first encounter with, is it okay to say extraterrestrials or aliens?
Yeah, well, space people or whatever you want to call them. The people we usually connect with the word alien, because that's the word that's used mostly. I did look that up, and it comes from America, and alien is the outsider, which I found quite interesting. If I get words, I always look them up to see what they really mean. But,
Fay, do you know who they are?
Sometimes, but it's hard to explain, because I've not had anything in my bedroom for a while. But some will come with a message and tell you their names or what planet they came from. But
so they're different types of alien, are they? Oh, hi, Brian. Brian is at the back.
You're in the picture.
Oh, by the way, come back, Brian, come back.
Brian, come back.
Brian is from the Blue People.
Show your picture, Brian.
Oh, wow.
Your picture of the Blue People.
Have you seen his picture, Fay?
No.
Oh, right. Okay, you'll bring it now. Yeah. Maybe they're the same people.
Yeah.
I had an experience once when I lived at my other house, and sometimes when I've been drawing, it's like I've gone to sleep, but I've not really gone to sleep. Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah. Do you know what's interesting? That you get the robes and the dresses, because that's what I get.
You get the robes and the dress. She said that's what she gets. The robes. Yeah.
Originally, it had all stars and moons on it.
Right.
But the original paper got ripped up, and I asked somebody to copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but it's interesting because Fay's, she normally has robes on them, on Fay's.
Yeah, look, there's two there, look, and they're both in robes. There's one there.
Oh, yeah. Brian, can you have a look at this?
I'm in now, but I can't get in there.
Yeah. So there's robes on hers. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, the door just slammed. Did it?
Yeah. This is Brian Johnson, by the way, 40 years medium.
Do you know what my name was before I got married? Johnson.
Wow. No, Fay Johnson. Wow.
Name.
Yeah.
40 years a medium and 60 million years an alien.
Yeah, you got it. We're all from an ancient race somewhere.
Yeah. So, Fay, tell us about your very first experience.
Right.
Because when I first met you, you told me something about what happened to your eyes, and I thought that was amazing because you'd had problems with your eyes, hadn't you?
Yeah, my mum had glaucoma, and it is not curable, but it is hereditary. And I went to the opticians for glasses, because I've always had free eye tests because it's in the family. And they said I had glaucoma, and I'd been going to the hospital for 4.5 years. I had to put drops in my eyes twice a day. When I first went, they said that I could go blind just like that. It would just happen if I didn't use the drops and that. So I've been going for 4.5 years. And when I got my book published, 2 weeks later, I had an appointment at the hospital for my checkup. I went and I was there for ages, and they did loads more tests than what they normally do. So at the end, the consultant said, well, would you like to know what's happened? So I was expecting bad news because of the extra tests. And he said, your glaucoma's completely gone and there's no damage to your eyes whatsoever.
Wow.
And like it's incurable, and I've never been back to the hospital since. I got a letter saying I haven't got it anymore, and that I truly believe that was an ET healing, because I put the work together in a book and published it, and it was out there for anybody who wanted to pick it up or buy it to look at the work.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of your book there? Do you have a? You can show us.
My
Yeah.
book.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's E.T. as artist, and it tells my story, but it's full of the drawings and messages that I got, and that's the
so to recap, how old were you when you had that first experience?
Well, the first one when I saw the ship was when I was in my early 20s. And
have you drawn a picture of the UFO?
Well, not really, but I can tell you what it looked like. It was cigar shaped. It was huge, stationary over my house.
And where did you live there?
I lived in Leicester then, because I'm originally from the town of Leicester, but the city of Leicester, I should say. But it was bright orange, like a fluorescent orange. And what got my attention was I was putting some milk bottles on the step. This is 12 o'clock at night before I went to bed, because we had a milkman. And I bent down, I hadn't seen it, I bent down to put the bottles on the step, and I heard this humming sound. And it just went, Well, because of the time of night, the neighbours were all in bed, and we lived opposite a golf course then, so everywhere in front of you were pitch black. And the sound made me look up, and when I looked up, there was a massive oval shape. I didn't know what it was at the time, and as it pulsated, it went brighter and darker. And I looked at it, and it's, to be honest, it scared the hell out of me, and I ran in and
how big was it, and how high was it?
It was sitting on the houses, but it was huge. I mean, it must have been a way up, but it was still massive.
And no one else saw it? No one else?
Sorry?
Was there an article in the newspaper the following day? Did anyone else see it?
I didn't look, because I didn't even know. This is the strange thing, right? I went in and closed the door because it scared me. But then also I was really curious, so I thought I'll look out the curtain and see if I can still see it, but I daren't look in case there was something looking back at me from outside. But anyway, I got my courage up and I opened the door again, and I must have stood looking at it for another 5 minutes, and it was just stationary.
And do you know if they chose you? Did they actually choose you? You know, say, Fay, you were one of us, eons ago, and we've come to say hello.
Well, this is really weird, because I've only just found out in the last couple of months why I was contacted, because I've always thought that I was contacted because I had no skills. I left school quite early, so I never went to university or college. So I just thought I was chosen because I was like a virgin subject, because if I'd have gone to art school or anything, I would question what I was drawing, and I couldn't do that. But anyway, a couple of months ago, my first husband, he died quite young, so that's the reason I was on my own. But my first husband's brother moved to Australia, so I don't see John very often, only when he comes over. But when my book came out, I sent John a copy, my brother-in-law in Australia, and I said, I've published a book, and I said, I won't tell you what it's about, I just want you to look at it. And lo and behold, he sent me an email back about 4 weeks later, and he said, I'm sorry it's took me so long. He said, but I've looked at the book several times, he said, and when him and his brother, who was my first husband, were young and they lived on a farm, because they come from a farming family, he said we used to have UFOs landing in the farm all the time. And he said he has never, ever revealed it to anybody before. And he said they would come in threes. He called them the threes, and he said the threes would come at night. He said, and of course they were only young boys then. He said, and we'd be in the bedroom, and he said the beings would be in the bedroom, and he said, I can't tell you the things that happened, because he said it wasn't nice. So that's what.
Did they sort of interfere with the?
I don't know what happened, because I emailed him back and I said, thank you for telling me, John. I said, if you feel comfortable to give me any more information about it, I'd love to hear. But he's never emailed me back. But because I was married to his brother, I think that's where the contact began.
Wow.
But you know,
Sally,
the
you had
sorry?
something in the farm next to the lighthouse once.
Oh yeah, we've had a few, sightings around here. But do you remember that time, April, when we were standing outside and we kept looking up at the sky, and you said, oh, look at that, it's not shifting. And then next day, my chain went all black. Do you remember? I tried to clean it, I boiled it in vinegar, and it's never happened since. And we're talking like, 10 years ago, isn't it? See that?
And when you searched online, it said that's what happens when you're exposed to sulfur, was it, or something like that?
Yeah.
But nothing has changed for us, whereas for you, there've been massive changes. You suddenly you became an artist. You're writing books, and you're a Facebook personality, and you're a speaker. It's amazing what's happened all of a sudden. That
from that first experience,
you got healed as well. And when we spoke to Robin Foy during the skull experiment, somebody got healed because from something came from above and healed them. And Linda's trying to get in, but she said it's not working. Anyway, any more questions, April?
Fay was going to say something. Go on, Fay.
This happened when I was in my 20s, but the actual thing about the drawing and that never happened till 2007, because when I saw the cigar-shaped one, the first one I saw, I closed the door at the time and went to bed, and in the morning I never even thought about it. It was completely wiped away from my memory. So, but the strange thing that happened was I started having paranormal experiences where I'd see spirit quite often, and I was aware of energies and things. It completely psyched up my psychic side, which I'd never been interested in, to be honest. Wow. So the drawings never came till a long, long while after.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So what happened? Did suddenly you thought, oh, I better get some drawing the pads, the paints, is that?
Well, in between, I had another experience. It must have been about 13 years later, and my boys were going night fishing because we lived near a canal at the time, and they said, "Can you get us up at 3 in the morning, Mum?" And I thought, oh, here we go. Put my alarm on for 2 o'clock to get the boys up. My alarm went off, of course, because I knew they were going fishing. The first thing I did was look out the curtain to see if it was raining. When I looked out the curtain, I noticed the formation of stars that I've never seen before, and it was just like a number 5 on a domino, 4 and then 1 in the middle. But quite close together, and I thought, that's really strange, I've never seen that before. And as I looked at them, they just started darting all over the place at tremendous speed and ridiculous angles at turns, you know. So I looked at them for about 10 minutes and then thought I better get the boys up. So that came in between, but then the one in 207, by that time, I'd had so many experiences that I got a paranormal group together of my own. And we used to go to hauntings, or we'd go to people's places. They'd message me and say, "We've got a spirit, can you come over?" And we'd send him off to the light, or her, you know. So because I had a group, and I lived in Lincolnshire then, we used to have meetings every so often, and all the paranormal groups would come together and we'd share our experiences and videos and, you know, audio we'd picked up. So my friend who I work with, she went with me, and she was driving. Well, we came out, it was held at a pub.
Can I just stop you, Faye? Linda wants to come in. Linda wants to come in, but she says it's not working. I don't know.
She can watch the playback. Don't worry, Danielle. She'll be okay watching the playback.
Okay, all right then. Sorry, Faye, carry on.
No, so that was the night when we had the really strange experience, and the meeting had been at a public house, and the reason they chose it because it was actually haunted, and it was haunted by a little boy. So we'd been chatting to the landlady. She was telling us about the ghost there. So it was 12 o'clock at night again before we left. So we got in the car to drive home, and my friend was driving, and it going back, it was like really dark, narrow country lanes, you know, and it's pitch black, you've not got the lights. So we're driving along, and as we're driving along, all of a sudden this great big white owl flew straight in front of the windscreen, made me jump actually, and landed in the tree. And I said to my friend, "Oh, I've never seen a white owl before." She said, "No, it's unusual for around here." So after that, there's like this light coming towards us in the road. And it was bright and it was round. So we thought somebody had the headlights on full beam because it was a way away. It looked like one light. But it was coming at us at a tremendous speed, and the nearer it got, the bigger it got, until it filled the whole of the road. But the funny thing it was a brilliant light, but you could still look at it. It didn't make you blink or dazzle your eyes. You just stared at it. And if that was our car, it just came at us like that. And it got...
Yeah. How many people were in the car? How many people?
Just me and my friend. But it got that near, it was right on top of the car, and she slammed her foot on the brake because we didn't know what was going to hit us. And of course the car come to a massive jolt, and we went like that. As we did that, it just went backwards and gone, completely gone. It went back, not forward, just back. Well,
yeah, so did your friend, did she get affected as well?
No. But what happened about 2 weeks later, something woke me 3 o'clock in the morning, and I came down and I was drawing and scribbling like mad, not knowing what I was doing. And I couldn't stop it, and it was compulsive, and I was doing it all the while, and I had a job at the time, and I'd be late from work because like I couldn't stop doing it. It was really different, and my friend at work who was with me on the night, she had nothing. But later on, because I was so curious about it all, I did have a regression, and on the regression, I remember being on the ship. So, and during the regression, I actually had asked the question, why didn't my friend get affected? And they said she was frozen in time. That's all I know, but I could.
Can you remember what they looked like at all, Faye?
No, I couldn't remember them on the ship. I remembered all the ones in my bedroom because some were nice and some weren't so nice. But on the ship, the only way I can explain it was really weird. I knew there was something around me, but I couldn't see an image. But it's like you connect to the energy, and like it's like, you know, if you're standing in a queue somewhere and somebody's standing right behind you, although you don't see them, you know they're there, don't you? It was that sort of feeling, and I knew there was moving about in there, but I didn't see them visually, but I felt their energies. And lots of times the energies are so diverse, because if I get energies that are not so nice, it's usually I flush and it makes me really hot. Whereas when I've experienced healing energies, it's ice cold. So
a different dimension. So do they tell you their names?
Some do if I ask. Some don't want to tell you the names and say it's not loud.
So do you hear them from outside, or is it inside your head?
In my head, and they.
Could you ask them to come now and talk to us?
I don't know whether that'll work. Here's one I got. He's full of all different designs, but you see those designs reach your consciousness. So I write at the bottom and say, "Hello, who are you, please?" And he said, "I am horoscope of music." And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "It is the pattern on which the sound waves come in." And then I said, "Is it audio or earshot?" And he said, "Neither, as it rides on a current of vibration." So they do tell you some information.
Oh, so Faye, can you write songs?
No, but I do get I get poetry.
Oh, poetry.
Yeah, and I couldn't stop doing it. I've got over 200 poems.
Wow.
They just come to me and I just write them down. I've never done it before, but
Wow, can anyone get, you know, all the artistic benefit that you are, you know, sort of channeling? How do we become more artistic, and how do we become more creative? Is there something we should pray to? Can we pray to them and say, you know, please bring us peace, bring us, you know, bring us creativity?
What happened to me when I first got the drawings, they all came through my left hand, and I'm right-handed. And this is what I'm going to say. And it's because if you write with your dominant hand, if I drew a house and I didn't think it looked right, I would scribble it out or rub it out and put it right. Whereas with my left hand, it's a clear channel because my brain doesn't come in and say, "You've drawn that wrong." So I do workshops sometimes, and what we do, we connect with different planets, and then everybody draws with the hand that they don't normally draw with. And we've had some really interesting drawings come through because you're not in control. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes maybe just pick a pen up or something and try it not in your dominant hand, because it's easier for the ETs to control, because my mind's not stepping in and telling them, you know, I'm not drawing that because it doesn't look right. And
do they have some advice for us for what we're going through at the moment?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. What have they got to say about COVID?
They're telling you to rise above it and not to be on that energy level. COVID's come to us because the main thing that we fail on is fear. We can't conquer fear, and this is why they're telling you to live your life above all the turmoil and that's going on, because that just keeps us locked into the fear. I always remember a long time ago, and I had a message from the ETs, and they said they asked me what fear was. And I said, well, there's all different sorts of fear. I said, there's fear if maybe you're going for a job or an interview. I said, there's fear if somebody was pointing a gun at you. I said, and you know, there's so many different types of fear. There's fear that you create yourself if you go on a scary ride. and they messaged back and they said, if we could conquer fear, then we could communicate directly with everybody. So that blew me away. So I you know, we're all in this lock of fear at the moment. Well, most of us are.
Yeah, but a lot of us are moving out of fear. I mean,
yes, well,
if you watch YouTube, they're saying, you know, we've got to move up. And I'm sure a lot, and that's why if they were fearful, they wouldn't have gone on these massive demonstrations, you know, like you know, so really thousands and thousands of people have gone on marches throughout the world. So we're rising above fear.
Yeah, and that's the intention that we do that, because
so can they see our future? Can they see what?
Oh, they can see what we're doing to our planet, and they're bothered about it. That's why we're being watched closely at the moment. And the more we ride above fear, the more we're going to put things right how they should be. Because it's only fear and greed for money and resources that's brought the planet to what it is. So this is a massive evolution jump for most humans.
So was it meant to happen? COVID-19, was it meant to? So to stir us, you know, to stir everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's presented fear all over the world, hasn't it? Even in the massive countries like the USA. And people are beginning to come out of it now. These people who are going on the marches and that, they've thought, that's more important than me doing this. And I couldn't say for certain whether COVID was real or not. I have my own thoughts on that. But whatever it was meant to be. And in order for us to evolve and become the people we should be, the human we should be, we've got to do this.
I think Bill Gates and so on, they thought it was going to bring a lot of negativity, but it's not. It's bringing out positive energy. Everywhere people are thinking twice about this or that, and they're thinking about the minorities, poverty, and you know, so they didn't foresee that. They didn't know who humanity really is. You know, they thought about money will make money through vaccines, but now they're saying, well, we don't need vaccines. And, you know, and apparently in America, like a lot of infant mortality is down because parents are not vaccinating their children. down by 30%. So autism is going to decrease, you know, like, so really positive. We're all positive, you know. So have you got a final point maybe for us, Fay, from
Well, you just said it. Be positive. Be positive. And the ETs are helping us all the time. We're getting sent tremendous energies and healing energies because people have been in lockdown. Lots of people have been doing their own healings and realizing.
Yeah, that is true. And also, there's going to be a baby boom. It's a new energy is going to come in. You know, new people, new. You know, so have you got other questions, April?
Yeah, I have. I've got a few. I'd like to know where in the world, a destination you feel attracted to go to.
Right. I'd love to go to Mexico because there's so many artifacts there, and there's so many interesting. Actually, Mexico is one of the biggest UFO places as well.
Yeah.
Where they're spotted. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Shirley MacLaine in the book Out on a Limb, and also the TV series. Yeah, she shared a lot about what was going on in Mexico and that area from a UFO point of view. Yeah, definitely. And my other question: can you name a life-changing book, something that you remember left you with something?
A friend of mine, Miguel Mendoza, he wrote Meet the Hybrids. And after that, I read all of his books, but he wrote a book about people who were hybrids, who were half human, half ET. And it blows you away, that book does.
Have you met any hybrids? Have you?
Yeah, I met a lady. She's a Spanish lady, but she's half lizard.
Oh, God.
I know it sounds crazy, but like, yeah. She's in his book, actually.
Wow. I don't mean to interrupt, Faye, but have we only got 1 minute left, Danielle? Is that right?
Another question, quickly.
Okay. We'll have to. Faye, can you share with everybody your page where they can find you?
Right.
Fantastic.
There's my Facebook page, Fay Vale. I've got a page called ET Connections, and that, if you go on that, it's got all ET stuff on. And then I've got my page, Galactic Art, Fay Vale Galactic Art, where you can see my drawings and stuff.
Do you sell them?
And it's a wrap, Danielle.
It's a wrap.
We got less than 1 minute. Thank you.